Welcome to Sterling High School. We're in the TV studio. I'm joined by Mr. Sheehan, and we are getting ready for our start, just about a week away, and we will be starting hybrid. The things we're going to start with today is talking about the history of how we got here, our hybrid start. We're going to talk about the screening and entry procedures, and then hopefully we've met some of your needs as far as the questions beyond that. But Mr. Sheehan, first, how are you, sir?
We're doing well. Like many members of our community, our families, we're doing the best that we can to keep ourselves and others safe. And I guess I want to implore everybody to continue to do that. Don't let off. This is a time to refocus our efforts to stay healthy and get back to in-person instruction. Yourself?
We are well. We are blessed. This end of the summer is here. We've maximized it, I believe, and we're excited to get to a new normal and back to the school routine. So with that, we wanted to go through some of the history of how we got to where we are right now and how we are going to open the school year at Sterling High School with the best plan for us for 2020. So with that, Mr. Sheehan, please tell us a little bit about the governor, what he said. He's made a couple different comments. What do we had to be prepared for, and then the direction we're going?
All right, so this has been a very fluid situation, as you can imagine, and the governor gave an executive order late July that tasked every school with the challenge to open to in-person instruction while also following CDC guidelines. So, we develop a hybrid plan, blue and silver. We make appropriate adjustments to the classroom, to the hallways, to the entry, to everything that we can in order to safely get kids back to school. So that was our challenge. It was actually three-part: normal, traditional schedule, a remote schedule, which we were on at the end of last spring, and then a hybrid schedule. So we've done those things. We feel that we've satisfied the governor's challenge. Since then, the governor has come out and given each district an opportunity, if they're not ready in any of the 13 critical areas, staffing included with that they could opt to start remotely. Sterling High School, we feel that we're meeting all of the 13 critical areas. We've developed a plan that allows for a safe reintroduction to the school through a thorough orientation process, and we're going to move forward with our hybrid plan. Last week, there was a flurry of schools you noticed in South Jersey that were opting for remote instruction for one reason or another. That's specific to their community, to their school. Sterling's plan is specific to our needs and how we address that. I can't say enough about the importance that the parents played in their surveys, the response to the surveys, the staff played in terms of their preparation, their participation in the committees, the administration's following up on grants, on procedures, on policies. So we're pretty confident moving in. Now, understanding that, again, it's fluid and we're dealing with a very big challenge. This isn't going to be easy, but we feel that we've taken the necessary steps now to follow our plan to come back to school. Next week, as Mr. Claybourn had mentioned, the teachers return. The students follow shortly thereafter in bits and pieces, and then we'll be in our hybrid plan.
Good. So we are starting the school year with in-person opportunity in the hybrid plan, just to clarify. But I'm going to walk you through that in a moment. Before we get to there, just a reminder, if you're looking for your student's schedule, then you need to complete that annual registration and on-course that's new for this year. The mailing went home. If you did not get that or you're still confused on that, you need to reach out to the guidance office and you need to do your annual registration. It has to be completed by a parent or guardian, cannot be done by the student. That's where you're going to access your schedule, okay?
And if I could add to that, that's very important too, because you have the opportunity as a parent. We're going in hybrid, all right? You have an opportunity as a parent to select remote for your student, for your child. And we won't have that designation unless you complete that. So you have that right as a parent. You can opt for remote. You'll still follow the hybrid schedule, but you can also opt to return. There's a way to get back to the hybrid schedule. So that initial registration is very important, so we know what our numbers will be like when we do our split between blue and silver.
Very good. So you can participate in our hybrid schedule fully remotely. Again, that's done through your annual registration, and we do have several students that have elected to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you to the website and show you a couple of these things to help clarify this slow start that we have to the school year, which is focusing on safety and training protocols as we go through an orientation process. So as I go to the website, you can see I can click right on the banner, the road back. Gives me all the information related to this school year. As I do that, I also want to make note of the school calendar is under School 2021 School Calendar. So if I can show you that first, you'll notice in September, you can see the yellow up there. What's going to happen first is our teachers, in order to be prepared for our students, we first have to bring our teachers in for training and safety training, as well as to train them on how to use our best practice in remote hybrid instruction. We are using Microsoft Teams. That is the system or tool we're using to connect virtually and remotely and bring all students together at the same time during our hybrid instruction. We are providing extensive training to our staff on Teams as well as our students later on. So the first portion of the school year is devoted to training from the 1st to the 4th. Those are teacher-only days on campus. Now, students from the 3rd to the 18th, they will receive assignments, virtual assignments that can be completed at their own pace, and that will come out on a mass. They'll be posted to the website, we'll send it out, and then teachers will trickle in and add some supporting things there. But please note, during the 3rd through the 18th, students are not following a remote schedule or a hybrid schedule. It's the orientation schedule. So let me go to that. If I go back to our road back, there is a great graphic here, updated orientation schedule. This graphic kind of breaks down and shows you the orientation. So again, if I can point out, the 1st through the 4th are going to be teacher-only days. And then the student orientation begins that second week of September on the 8th after Labor Day. Groups are broken down, blue and silver, just like they will be during our hybrid schedule. Students are going to come in, they're going to be in classrooms of no more than 15 at desks that are socially distanced. You can see the different timetables for the different groups in there. Blue freshmen, for example, they're going to come at 8 a.m. on September 8th for 3 hours in the school day. That orientation, again, focuses first on the safety protocols when entering in the building and general CDC guidelines on being safe in public. It's going to distribute for the freshmen. This is where they're going to receive their tablets during the orientation. We don't want to just give you tablets and let you run. We're going to train you on how to access the information and the best ways to use it, specifically through connecting in Teams, through Microsoft Teams and the use of Microsoft OneNote in our classroom. So that is the 2nd and 3rd week of our orientation. And then finally, hybrid officially begins on the 21st of September. And so if you can see the bell schedule for the hybrid schedule. Again, that's our start. Our formal start to the school year is under the hybrid schedule. We're offering in-person instruction for those that have chosen elected in person under the blue and the silver format. Again, blue students A through L are coming on Monday and Thursday. Silver students M through Z on Tuesday and Friday. We also want to note the entry locations. What we've done is we've created enough entry locations so that we can properly socially distance. Let me show you the picture of the entry locations as well. If you look at the road back section and we go down to the entrance map for fall 2020. Here's a general map of the facility. You can see different entry points at the 100 wing, the 300 wing, the new gym in the back, and the band hallway. So the addition there really is the new gym as an entry point. What we've done is we're asking you to enter at locations based on your residence. So you'll see 300 wing students are going to be Summerdale residents. Should come in off of Preston Ave, turn into the Preston Avenue parking lot, and drop off so that they can come in at the 300 wing. At the 100 wing will be our Hynella, Laurel Springs, and also any choice students that are traveling from Summerdale Road should drop off at the 100 wing. The band hall is going to be for Stratford residents or school choice residents coming from Laurel Road. Again, whether you're walking or being dropped off, you should come to the front of the building. Your entrance point is going to be the band hall. And then in the new gym is going to be, you're going to walk up the back of the building. That's going to be for students that are parking and driving to school and parking on campus. They're going to enter at the back of the new gym. You're going to see a portion of The video today is going to highlight the entrance location, the sample self-screening, as well as the sample of the actual thermal temperature monitor that shows that. An additional piece, if I can point you back to this page, are the times of entry. So we stagger the entry. Again, the whole idea is safety, social distancing. The staggered arrival times. The first are going to be those students that have a 3A, 3B class. These are classes like chorus or ROTC. If you don't have a class during that time, you're not coming at that time. But if you have a class, you're coming. Your entry is at 7:22 because you got to be ready for your 7:27 class start. Then we're asking each grade to enter at certain times. If you're in 9th grade, you're going to be in the next wave of entry. 10th grade, 11th, and then 12th grade at 7:45. If you are driving with multiple people, we ask you to come with the earliest grade level that you have in your car and drop off at that point so that we do not get jammed up with multiple people at the end of the entry time. Again, if I point you back to this schedule, it kind of gives you a breakdown of all that information you need for the start of the year. It gives you the restart orientation schedule, the hybrid schedule with the bells, as well as the entrance locations are located on the bottom there. Okay, so Mr. Sheehan, let me take a breath and tell me if I missed anything related to some of that.
You did a great job. Time
Thank
to
you.
calm down. Okay, so one of the questions that I know we're going to get, and I know you can answer this for us, what happens if I sign my student up for remote instruction? How do they participate in orientation, and how do they get their tablet if they're a freshman? How does it work for a student that has signed up for remote?
Good, excellent question. So we are asking, again, part of our safety and our training protocols to be prepared for hybrid instruction is that all students must attend the orientation process. So even if you selected to be a fully remote person, we're asking you to come in because as a freshman, that's how you get your tablet in the first place. As an upperclassman, your tablet needs to be checked to make sure that it's in good working condition. We have to affirm that as a school to make sure that the product we've provided you is in good working condition, that it is updated and fully functional so that you are ready for hybrid instruction. So we need all students to be on campus for their orientation. And we can assure you that is in a safe space, socially distanced, classrooms of no more than 15, and that's the best way that we could meet those needs as far as the tablet and being prepared. Another question you said is, if I'm fully remote, when am I participating? So first, you're participating in person in orientation. But once the hybrid schedule starts on the 21st, now you begin to start the class from home. You're connecting in the class periods exactly as it is under the remote schedule. So if I have a 3A, 3B class, I need to be ready to connect to my teams with my teacher at 7:27. If I am not until block 1, then at 8 a.m., block 1, I'm logged in. So parents, we're asking you, support your students. Make sure they have a clean, safe working space to work in their room. Students should be dressed appropriately, not in pajamas, not partially dressed, but dressed appropriately to participate in the remote instruction in this live model that happens in the hybrid. They should have a clean working space, no distractions behind them, and able to participate connecting on the hour of their block. And then again, if there's a hiccup during that time and the remote person misses something from the teacher, that's why we put in the remote sessions in the PM, where teachers are going to intentionally make sure that those fully remote students are connecting and getting what they need throughout the class period.
Important thing, right, is much of our schedule and much of our planning occurred because of the feedback that we got from our parents, our students, and our staff. So we're trying to address those areas and check off those boxes. People want in-person instruction. They want FaceTime. So Microsoft Teams, which is going to be, that's the orientation, that's the emphasis. You got to be fluent in this new technical language. We're familiar with OneNote, we're familiar with tablets or Chromebooks, but we want students to be very fluid with Teams because that's how you're going to connect with your teachers. You're going to interact with one another, whether you're in person or you're at home. So again, remote or hybrid, it's very important that orientation process, we get those lessons through to our students.
Very good. In the other portions of the video, you're going to see us walk through the building and highlight some of the PPE, some of the one-way hallway directional signs, the ability for students to access a wipe and clean their own space in the classroom. Lots of those pieces that are necessary to create a safe learning environment have occurred, and again, that's a training piece that they'll receive in orientation. So in orientation, students talking about safety, training on their teams and their tablet functionality. We're also going to support them with an equity discussion. We want to talk about some of the things that are occurring in our nation, in the world right now. Just first of all, coping with the fact that we've been by ourselves for 6 months dealing with being, what's the word I'm looking at, quarantined, right? But also some of the social injustices that we continue to see. We're going to create a space for a healthy conversation and provide a framework in that orientation on how those conversations can take place.
One of the challenges, we want to bring some order to chaos. It's been a very chaotic existence for the last 6 months, and we don't know how long it's going to continue. But if we can supply some structure, let you know what your resources are, the conversations you can have, just make it a healthier opportunity when you get back to school, again, whether it's in person or remote. We want to make sure we get people back together in a safe way. The big question people are going to ask right away, what is different about Sterling High School? I haven't been here since March 13th. What is different? Well, you're going to notice some physical differences, but also those emotional needs have to be addressed as well. We do have a new parking lot that'll be open, hopefully for the start of school, which should be easy for the residents coming from Stratford and the Laurel Road area, maybe to access Sterling. Students aren't going to be using their lockers, right? There's no lockers issued this year, so you can carry your tablet with you, any other supplies when you come in. Water fountains are going to be touchless, so we're encouraging students, if you have thirst, bring a water bottle. You can have it full. You can fill it up during the school day. As Mr. Claybourn has said, the PPE. So what do we expect from you? Come prepared to work when you're here. Whether you're at home, be prepared to work. At school, have your mask, have hand sanitizer. We're going to supply all that for you, but we want you to be responsible for yourself and your space and taking care of yourself and others. So there's going to be some differences here.
Yeah, you're talking about back to school supplies, right? Something that's not necessarily always a need at the high school. The elementaries are definitely doing it, but that's something that we need to talk about. You have back to school supplies that you should be personally responsible for, and it's just natural in today's world is that we have to be prepared to go with your mask. You want to be prepared with your hand sanitizer. So those are some of the things we want to encourage you to have. You should have multiple masks so that you can wash them frequently. We're giving you the one with the logo. All students will receive that, but you should have multiple masks. You should have hand sanitizer on your person so that you can use it at your own convenience. Those are some normal back to school supplies that need to be added to fall 2020.
We always get those questions. What happens if we don't have a mask? We're not going to turn you away. We'll provide one for you. All right, we're going to give you one in general that we want you to have, but we'll have some that you can have, but we don't want to see that as a common practice. You should have your own mask, make sure it's clean, make sure it's acceptable. I know on the Roadback website we have something about acceptable masks that are safe for you and for others. Are students going to be nervous? Absolutely. Our staff members going to be nervous? Absolutely. So our job is to reintroduce you back to the building, assure you that we're taking every precaution that we possibly can, but we also know that even when we're in hybrid, if we need to, we can kick into remote instruction so we can continue with our 180 days, 4 hours of instruction to really get the academic piece through to our students. So you got to register, you got to make sure we have all your up-to-date email notifications, telephone numbers, cell, whatever it may be, so we can reach out to you and communicate any needs or changes that we may have to go through during our hybrid experience here.
Okay, so just to reiterate, from September 3rd to the 18th, the primary focus is orientation, where we design that intentionally for safety and for training of both our staff and students. Hybrid schedule begins September 21st, and that's where we were returning. The decision is made. We are hybrid on September 21st, but you got to be ready to receive some instruction beginning the 3rd remotely. Beyond that, if you have additional questions, please reach out to one of the administrators. Your guidance counselors are beginning to be available, and we're ready to answer your questions, but we're ready to go, Mr. Sheehan.
Yeah, and I think the best resource for you guys right now is the website. It has all these documents that we send out. We have resources for you, and it has these videos. So we try to go through the process of explaining to you so we can answer all your frequently asked questions. So visit the website, be an expert at the website, know exactly what's going on, And if not, make a phone call, send an email. We want you to be informed, and we want you to, again, practice the 3 W's, okay? Wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch who you're around and how close you're to people. Don't let up now. All right, you've done a great job up to this point, but as we bring students back, we need everybody to be responsible so we can all be safe and healthy for the 2020-21 school year.
Okay, with that, you have a great end of your summer. We'll see you soon, and we are Sterling Strong, and that's a Go Knights. Hey guys, welcome to the 2020-21 school year. I'm here outside and we're going to go over our screening procedures and entry procedures as you enter the building. I'm standing underneath the new solar canopy here down at the 300 to Science Wing at the student parking lot. Note that you're going to have to check the website on the different access entry points for the school for this fall. So people that are parking, students that are driving and parking, they're going to go up the back breezeway walkway alongside the 300 wing. They're going to enter in the new gym. Okay, different points are going to be different access points. This 300 wing is going to be for Summerdale residents are going to come in here. So as you get dropped off, I want you to take note. You're going to approach the door. We have S's on the concrete that demonstrate our social distancing. We want to make sure you are maintaining social distancing. Do not gather. We'll have staff out here to help monitor that and making sure we're staying safe. We're going to put on our mask as we approach the door, ready to do our screening, which you'll be able to do either through the phone, through your tablet, or verbally. So we'll make our way up this way. I got my mask. Reminder, mask doesn't have to be this mask. There are certain masks that are acceptable, but you should have multiple masks as you approach the school year. So we're coming up. You can see our students, Mrs. Sukanik, Mr. Sheehan, we're ready to go. And then let's just follow Mrs. Sukanik. She's going to be our first student. Reminder of the mask. You can see on the door we have the QR code ready of this the screening, the self-assessment that you're going to do. Mrs. Sukanik's getting that done. As she finishes doing that from her phone, she's going to turn it and show the administrator at the door that it is complete. So it's complete. She shows. Mr. Manlove's going to allow her to come in.
Come on in, Mr. Sukanik. You've done your health check there. Okay, we're going to have you step up to the temperature scan.
Temperature, and it tells her that she has a normal temperature. From there, the administrator is going to.
You are good to go to your first period club. Have a good day.
Okay guys, rewind. We have a self-screening and you may have answered yes to one of the questions. These are CDC questions and Ms. Sukanik demonstrates she answered yes. Her self-assessment is going to come up with a red screen. She's going to show that to the administrator.
Come on in. Okay, we see we have a red screen. Okay, Ms. Sukanik, we're going to step up and take your temperature anyway. Okay, now due to your red screen, we're going to send you to the secondary screening. Mr. Barr is going to escort you through the hallway to the cafeteria.
Okay guys, once you're in the building, the hallways are going to be one-way hallways. You're going to find directional arrows that are going to direct you in which direction each hallway is. And Mr. Rem is going to go through that with you, and that'll be part of the orientation training, which all students are invited to participate in. So thank you. Okay guys, as you enter a classroom, you're going to find that the classrooms are already pre-set up to be socially distanced. We've removed desks. Each classroom has been carefully identified for the max number of desks. And again, so that we are not providing too many spaces that you could sit in or obstacles to get around in. So each desk is set up socially distant and for that spacing. Also, during the orientation, each orientation group will be in their own room. They stay in that one room, other than when they take a tour of the building. So we're not going to be moving rooms during the orientation, but this is a general idea of the spacing within a classroom for fall 2020. Students, an additional point of note for every classroom is going to be equipped with wipes that are sanitizing wipes. You'll be able to access your own wipe before entering the class. As you enter the class, you take your wipe and you can wipe down your space, your desk space, to make sure that your space is cleaned by you and you are certain that it is cleanly for your space. The same thing can be done as you exit the room. You can wipe down to make sure it's clean for the next person. And that's part of every classroom will be equipped with the sanitation wipes, so that can be done before and after every class. Another upgrade in the building is that water fountain use is going to be limited or actually removed. we don't want to use the same water fountain spigot. So what we've done is we've added a couple of these touchless water bottle filling stations, which are very nice. This is the one in the cafeteria, which will be available for student use throughout the school day. Students will be permitted to use water bottles in school this fall 2020. Additionally, we're outside the cafeteria. The cafeteria bathrooms are going to be a location that will be used. So the typical bathrooms, and we're going to alternate per block. So for example, first block might be the traditional bathroom down by the nurse. Second block, you'll have to come to the cafeteria bathrooms. You can see it's equipped with the new or the scanning and the ID scanners. You can put in your ID or scan your ID, and that's so that we can clean the bathrooms in between, and additionally only one student at a time in the bathrooms.